starting recording. So recording has been started and Samriji is going to start right now. Samriji, we are going to take question at the very end.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. My reverence, my salutation to His Holiness Acharya Mahashamanji, all the participants of the camp. Hello, everybody. Are you enjoying the camp? Okay. I think you are enjoying the camp and you are enjoying your life too. We should enjoy our life because we all are very fortunate to be a human being. No doubt, human being is a great creature in this planet. The reason of his greatness is his discriminative power. This is lacked in animal. Is it okay? Can you see it at screen? The PPT?
Yes, Samriji, I can see the PPT. So we are good.
Okay. So, the reason of his greatness in his discriminative power, which is lacked in animal. Unlike humans, animals have no moral issues. They don't have discriminative power. Their discrimination is born out of their instincts. When it comes to killing for food or protecting their younger one, there is no moral issues in the animal kingdom. Similarly, even we human as children never understood the concept of good or bad. All of us are bound by our own instincts, which are to avoid pain and embrace pleasure. So, the sources of pain and pleasure, good and bad, are within us. To emerge as a discriminative human being, we have to learn to use our resources, and for that, we have to engineer ourselves. First of all, we should know what engineering means. Engineering means to make things happen the way we want. Engineering means to do things such a way that it will make our life, it will make our living comfortable. We air conditions the place because we want the temperature in a certain way. Because we heated the room. Why? Because we want the temperature in our own way. We engineering things to make our world peaceful, happy, and comfortable. In the last 150 years, in the advent of science and technology, we have more comfort and conveniences than any generation could ever imagine. We are the most comfortable generation ever, physically as well as mentally. But can you say that we are the most peaceful generation? We cannot claim that we are the most joyful. We cannot even claim that we are the most loving generation. Or can you say that we are the most intelligent generation? No. We have to engineer ourselves to get all this, to make all this happen in our life. To engineer our life, we have to learn the process of engineering. Suppose if I give all of you the same soup making ingredients, do you believe that all of you will come up with the same kind of soup? No. 100 varieties of soups will happen. Similarly, all of us come here with fundamentally with the same ingredients. Just see how many way we become. The reason is we have been given such a complex machine, our body. Do you agree that human body is the sophisticated machine in the planet? Yes. So I'm asking you, someone gave you such a complex and sophisticated machine. Have you ever read the usage manual? No. So without the usage manual, if you operate something, how do you do it? By accident, something will happen. Once in a way it works, once in a way something is working, and sometimes not. Can you take such a big risk for your life? No, but you are taking the risk. Not only you, but most of the people take such a risk and end up with failure in life. Whatever suffering we go through in our life, you may call it stress, anxiety, misery, grief, whatever you want to call it. All this happens because we have still not figured out how to handle our life, how to operate it. We still not figure out how to exercise our own intelligence. We have learned how to make our living. We have learned how to do things. We have learned to go to moon or beyond. But we have still not figured out how to manage our own system. So we have to engineer our mind and learn how to exercise our own intelligence to get the best of our life. To get maximum out of our minimum effort, we have to think a new way to use our resources. So I would like to share a few points to make our engine to engineer our life, that is reprogramming the inner system. So many amongst you may be engineer or you are pursuing engineering. You may be expertise on that. As an engineer, you learned how an object works or how to operate it creatively. But here we have to engineer our own system within. So first we have to reprogram the sense of pain and pleasure. Pain and pleasure is two fundamental navigators of human behavior. The true indication is to embrace anything that is pleasurable and avoid everything that is painful. This programming is correctly set in our mind that we want pleasure and avoid pain. We want to get rid of pain. Why does a smoker continue to smoke in spite of all the advice from his well wishers to give it up? Why are there many angry people? Why does an angry man continue to get angry even though he is aware of its adverse results? It is because getting angry is pleasurable and giving it up is pain. The general scenario is that angry person succeeds in dominating the environment. A person who speaks loudest somehow gets his way through and he can create fear in others. So, dominating over others and control over the situations are pleasurable for him. As a result, whenever he finds that a case is getting out of control, he resorts to anger. Anger gives him the pleasure of making things happen in his way. As long as pleasure is associated with anger, anger cannot be dropped. If anger has to be dropped, then enormous pain has to be associated with it. This program has been set in our mind since our childhood. Change can come only by reprogramming. There is no punishment for anger, said Gautam Buddha, for you will be punished for your anger. In every moment of anger, harmful acids are secreted by our body. Remember, acid destroys the vessel which contains it. So, anger invites blood pressure, ulcer, and cardiac problems. With every bitter experience, we are hurting our loved ones and create scars in the relationships that matter to us. Anger as a response to anger produces more anger and seldom can lasting solution. Though one dominate people and situation by resorting to anger, we only lose a lot of valuable aspects in that process, including our health and a part of our life. In this way, when one consistently associated more and more pain to anger, progressively anger will drop off. So, Change can come only by reprogramming. With every experience since birth, we have been strengthening our conditioning. As we begin to look at our behavior with great maturity, we realize that a lot of aspects in us has to undergo a drastic change. We desire to change, but struggle to bring about these changes in us. Wanting to change and not able to change breeds feelings of incompetence in us. We get inspired by listening to a lecture. Sometimes when we listen a lecture or reading a book, we get inspired to change. However, the frustration continues, for we are not only able to change at intention level and are not able to implement in the action. We get inspired by listening to a lecture or reading a book or watching others' life, and we desire to change. We make an intention to change. Whatever it is, it may be the habit of extra sleeping or the habit of smoking or tea, coffee, or the habit of getting angry. Do you know how we get the habit of anything? By regular practice. If you want to learn something, you have to buy heart something. Merely reading once will not working. We have to read several times with complete awareness, with complete attention. Then we can buy heart that, we can memorize that. And if you shift in a new house, and when you climb the new ladder of new house, initially you will be very cautious, and after a few days, when you are familiar with that ladders, you are habituated to climb up and down. You cannot fall down. Even if you climb in the sleep, you do it unconsciously. Why? Because it becomes your habit. When we do something by habit, we don't do it consciously. We do it unconsciously. So, habit always created in our unconscious mind. And now we want to change that habit. How can we do that? We have to create a new habit. But actually, what we do, we always want to change in intention level. We want to change in conscious level. Our habit is situated deep within, in unconscious level. So there is, and our desire, our intention to change is in conscious level. So there is no connection between these two levels, because our desire is conscious level. We want to change, but our habit, which is deep within in unconscious level. So there is no connection between these. One is up and other is within. So how can change occur in our life? So here we need to take our desire, our intention to unconscious mind, unconscious level. With everyday conscious practice, turn your desire of change into your habit. When your new habit takes its charge, reaches its place, then your older habit have to leave that place. Then you see automatically change occurs even without your knowledge, and you and your world within will change. The second, we have to reprogram the process of sleeping. We have to reprogram the process of sleeping. When sleeping and lethargy is pleasure and jogging is the pain, a mere desire will not bring about a change in us. Sorry. The internal programming of pain and pleasure has to be reprogrammed. When we realize that excess sleeping is going to rust our life, our biological system, and affect our biological clock, when we realize that excess sleeping steals away more than one third of our life, we begin to associate pain to sleep. See, inside the womb, we kept sleeping. and again inside the tomb, we will continue sleeping. In between these two terminal events, we have this life to live. And here too, why should we spend it over sleeping? Man's lifespan is the time between birth and death. The time of birth was not in our control, and in the time of death will not be in our control. Thus, we cannot control our lifespan. So, the equation is lifespan minus sleeping hours is equal to working hours, with which we experience life. Just by cutting down your sleep by 2 hours per day, we can increase our waking hours for an additional 30 days in a year. This means when the world lives 12 months by sleeping 8 or 9 hours a day, in the same period, the one who sleeps for 6 to 7 hours lives 13 months. Three changes have to be achieved by this reprogramming. First, it improves the quality of our sleep. 6 or 7 hour deep sleep is far better than 10 hour of disturbed sleep. If we have sound sleep, then we don't need more sleep, oversleep. If you don't sleep sound, then we need more sleeping. Second, conquer the gap between waking up and getting up. We wake up and then get up. However, after waking up, we let the body prevail over the mind and we go back to sleep again. Few more minutes. The lower has prevailed over the higher. If only the mind takes charge over the body in that gap, the lower we will get victory over the body. By not conquering the gap between waking up and getting up, we start the day with the defeat. The very first experience of the day is negative one. The lower prevailed over the higher. If we cannot even gain control over the body, how are we going to gain control over our lives? Conquer the gap and begin the day on a winning note. Begin the day by shaking yourself out of slumber. In the gap between waking up and getting up, no more here sleep, sleep, the habitual sleep, sleep. Instead, here the waking, awaken, awaken. Finally, have a purpose for the morning and the day. People are lazy because they have nothing to look forward to the morning. I know all of you are either students or pursuing your job. So you may not get extra time, but what about Sundays? Mostly you wake up late in the morning. We feel I want to sleep an extra hour, extra sleep. Sometimes we feel it's okay. One day by skipping exercise and by sleeping for an extra hour, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. But if we count all the Sundays in a year, those are maybe more than 52 Sundays, around 52 Sundays. And if we count all the holidays together for a year, it will go more than 100 days in a year. And sometimes we feel like that one day by skipping exercise, what will happen? If you sleep for an extra hour, nothing is going to happen. And all these lower thoughts within us are trying to pull us down. What will help us in those moments is if we have some mental philosophies, certain values, certain principles, then certain principle in our life, which are not for any negotiation. That is what all the successful people used to do. People always used to follow them, which guide them during those moments. If you are tough on yourself, life will be very easy on you. If you are easy on yourself, life will be very tough on you. So it's better that you are tough on yourself. So set a routine. Set a routine for the morning. Define a driving purpose for the morning and the day. And you may not even need an extra clock to wake you up. The awakening call will come from within. The third is reprogramming the habit of blind followance of others. Mostly, people have the habit of blind followance of others. People feel comfort and easy to follow others' activity or truth rather than discovering truth by themselves. We always follow what have said us to follow. We always do what we have seen earlier, we have listened earlier, or we feel earlier. We always do how people used to do, like second-hand people. In the market, you will find the shop of second-hand things, second-hand vehicles, TV, cell phone, etc. Second-hand means what? The things which are already used by someone before we use. Generally, nobody wants to buy the things of second-hand. Lord Mahavir said, discover truth yourself. Be creative. Don't follow anything or anyone blindly, whether it is spiritual activity or anything else. If you do samayik, meditation, or swadhyaya, anything, think a creative and effective way to do that thing, to do that, to get effective and maximum result. Don't think that by following others' way or method, you will be equally benefited as they get, because their way is their way, it can't be always your way. Lord Mahavir did not say that follow my truth. He did not say that practice according to my truth. Then only you will get moksha or whatever you want, your destination. Rather, he said, Appana Sachame Sijja, which is your theme of the camp. Appana Sachame Sijja means discover truth yourself. Because he knew truth has many dimensions to it, and all people do not follow the same dimension. Each person has to discover his own truth. For example, I love to use a pen that is a Zebra company. Suppose I love to use that pen because I found it writes very smoothly, fast, and is very much comfortable for my writing, for my fingers. This is my truth. But it is not necessary that each and everybody have to have the same experience about it. Perhaps many people do not even like to use that pen. Suppose one more example. Suppose there is a hall. Four people are asked to click photos. One person clicks from the left side of the hall, the other from the door, the third one from the center, and the fourth from the ladder. If this is the case, then all four photos taken would look different. We cannot say any of these photos are wrong. We cannot say that this is wrong or this is right. We can't say, but uh, and we cannot say it's wrong. But the perspective to see the whole are different. So thing is one, but truth related to it are many. Each person has to discover his own truth. Activity may be same, maybe one, but our way performing that activity are many. So always have a scope for second thought before you do anything. Ask yourself, is there any better way to do this activity? This is second thought. We always have this second thought. Mostly, we always want to do, we always feel comfortable to do whatever we want, whatever we see. If others are doing, just we follow. Whenever we go, mostly we used to do that. But we should always have scope for second thought. You do anything, ask yourself, is there any better way to do this activity? This is second thought. We always search for think for the better way to do any activity we want to do. When you follow somebody's truth, somebody's activity, you should think, how will I do this to get the maximum result? Do the same activity. It's not necessary you will change the activity. Creativity doesn't mean that you will always change the activity. Do the same activity, but in a different way, but in your own way, in a creative way. So, when you follow somebody's activity, you should think, how will I do this to get the maximum result? Do the same activity, but in a different way, in your creative and in your own way. We should think why some people get accurate result or maximum result by doing their activities. If you think about religious activity, if you do samayik, swadhyay or meditation, whatever, some people get maximum result. They felt they were benefited by doing that activity, but some people do not get the result, desired result, maximum result. If someone does samayik or meditation in a correct way, his negative emotions such as anger, attachment, hatred get subsided. He will get peace of mind and tranquility by shedding his bad karma. Lord Mahavir himself gave the example of one of his disciples. His name is Punya Shravak. Have you heard this name? Might be you have heard that name. Punya Shravak. He was a great practitioner of Samayik and became so calm and contained by continuous practice of Samayik. There are many examples like this. We have to see that, do we get the desired result by our religious activity or any activity what we do? Do we get? Mostly we heard from people, they say, why we don't get the result? We always do samayik, we do pratikraman, or we chant Navakar mantra, we do meditation, but we don't get anything. We feel like we are doing but we don't get any result. Why? Why we don't get? It means somewhere there must be some loopholes or mistakes in our way which stop it to be perfect activity. So when you do all these activities, just don't blindly follow others. You should think the right method and the perfect method of these activities to get the perfect result. It requires reprogramming. We have to reprogram the habit of blind followance of others. When we associate pain and bad result with the method which is blindly followed, and associate pleasure and good result with the way or truth discovered by ourselves, then we cannot follow anything blindly. Just like they are doing. Rather, we would love to discover our own way, our own truth. In this way, when we realize that benefits of waking up early in the morning and drawbacks of excess sleeping, we feel like associate pleasure with early rising, associate pain with excess sleeping. So we have to reprogram our system. We have to associate pain with blind followers, pleasure and good result with the way of truth, way which is discovered by ourselves. The fourth point is reprogramming the feeling of expectation. One of the human cause is our expectation are always directed, extroverted. It is one of the significant conditions of human mind that we always expect from others. We feel it is very comfortable and easy. We feel burdened by doing ourselves. So we associate pleasure with expectation from others. Reprogram your feeling of expectation and toward them, that I will expect more from myself. We expect from government, we expect from relationship, we expect from family, we expect from God. But my expectation from you is not something I can control. I can expect, but I cannot control it. The only expectation I can control is the expectation I have over myself. The starting point of excellence is I will expect more from myself. I will surpass my expectation. When Jesus Christ said, if they ask you to walk a mile, walk two. Always go the extra mile. In everything, go the additional miles. Deliver more than what is expected. The standards you hold for yourself must always be higher than the standard the world expects from you. Don't do it because of such expectation, but do it because these are the standards you hold for yourself responsible for. Strive to be best. I will expect more from myself. Uh, father was a father always used to read a newsletter, and this is his habit at the end of the day. And he had a 6 years old daughter who kept persisting, Dad, play with me, Dad, play with me. But he was only interested in reading newspaper. And you know, children are very adamant. Just then, the father saw a full-page advertisement of an international courier company, and the world map was printed there. The father came with a solution brilliantly, and he said, he tore the sheet of paper from the newspaper, tore it into multiple pieces scattered all over the room, and he said, this is your task of a puzzle. Assemble the world map correctly, and then I will play with you. And he continued to read newspaper. To his surprise, within 10 minutes, the child assembled the entire world map, called out Dad, and see how, but Dad was shocked. He knows his own IQ level. So see that he could not believe it. Looking at his expression of shock and surprise, the little one said, Dad, I know why you are so shocked. Why you are so shocked, I know. But let me tell you, when we were tearing the newsletter, I saw there was a face of a man on the other side of the newspaper. Dad, I don't know where the Mexico should be, where Ghana should be, where America should be, where India should be. But Dad, I know where forehead should be, where nose should be, ear should be, where eyes should be. And it seems the child said, Dad, I got the man right, the world became right. And this is the only solution. Rather than expecting the world should become right, the world should live up to my expectation. You get yourself right and you live up to your expectation. So reprogram your expectation by shifting them from extrovert into introvert, and you will begin to live a very different, a very wonderful life from there onward. This this reversal of pain and pleasure is called reprogramming, by which we will be drawn towards good habits and away from bad habits. Just by listening to this lecture will not create reprogramming in you. Having understood the concept, you must take time off and play this reprogramming in your mind several times. whether it is swapping TV time with studies or to transcend your senses. Reprogramming is required to create a lasting change. In whichever aspect of life you want to change, identify with what you are associated pleasure and what we have associated pain with. Then take time to reprogram pain and pleasure and play this reprogramming in your mind several times till it brings about a lasting change in your conditioning. Desire will not change you, reprogramming alone will. So you have to reprogram your mind. Reprogramming is very much to change our life. Thank you. So, are you listening to me? Hello?
Thank you, Samniji. That was a very nice lecture.
Do you have any question? Can you write? Or you have to ask any question?
You talked a lot about reprogramming yourself so you're more productive, but
Yes.
where would the balance be between being productive and taking care of yourself?
What? I didn't get. Where?
So where would the balance be between being productive and taking care of yourself?
Okay, being productive and taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
See, we have to search the balance. We have to when you are doing something, just think how can we do this thing, because everyone's ways is different, but we have to search our way. We have to see in which field I am expertise. In this way you have to search a balance.
Thank you.
Any other question? Anyone? हाँ मनीष भाई, और किसी की कोई क्वेश्चन है?
I think
Manish bhai, you have to. Okay.
Manish bhai, I think you're on mute.
Yes, Manish bhai. Manish bhai, we cannot hear you. You are on mute.
Vandami Naman Swami Samriji, I'm sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
So
Okay.
anyone has any question for Samriji, feel free to ask. We have a 15 minutes, so feel free to ask your questions. Or Samriji, do you want to add anything more?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Anybody has any question? Okay.
So our next session will start in next 17-18 minutes. So we have a time. If you guys don't have any question, that's okay. I will continue on this session. And Samir Bhai has also joined as a co-host, so he will take care. But I will continue to stay over there. So if you don't have any question, feel free to drop from this meeting. Or if you want to join other meeting, please stay on this for some time before other Samniji join at 10 o'clock.
Okay, can we leave now?
Yeah, Samriji, so next Samriji will come at 10 o'clock, but if you want to leave right now, that's okay. And other can stay if they want to attend the 10 o'clock session.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Samriji, yeah, thank you, Samriji. And Samriji, if you want, do you want to do Mangal part for this session?
Okay. Yes. Chattari Mangalam, Arhanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevali Pannatto Dhammo Mangalam. Chattari Loguttama, Arhanta Loguttama, Siddha Loguttama, Sahu Loguttama, Kevali Pannatto Dhammo Loguttamo. चत्तारे शरणं पवज्जामि, अर्हन्ते शरणं पवज्जामि, सिद्धे शरणं पवज्जामि, साहू शरणं पवज्जामि, केवलीपन्नतं धम्मं शरणं पवज्जामि। विघ्नहरण मंगल करण स्वाम भिक्षुनो नाम, गुण औलख समरण किया, सरे अचिंत्या काम, सरे अचिंत्या काम, सरे अचिंत्या काम।
Thank you,
Okay.
Samriji.
Vandaminam Swami Shamniji. Vandaminam Swami
Yeah, हाँ, अर्हम, okay.
So we are going to start the next session at 10 o'clock. So we will have 15 more minutes. You can stay on the line until other Samriji joins. Samir Bhai and Dharmik Bhai. So Samir Bhai, you are co-host and Dharmik Bhai also co-host. So I will make one of you as a host.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to share your screen, the housekeeping screen?
Yeah, Dharmik is going to share that. If not,
Okay.
then I will do it, So
Okay.
you can make me host if you have to. I'll stay and then, Dharmik is going to do the beginning and I'll do the ending part for both the sessions.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, host needs to disable my screen, the participating sharing screen.
Yeah, just a second. So Samir Bhai, you are the host right now.
Yep, I see it.
Okay.
I'll rename myself.
Yeah, sure, and I will change myself to normal participant.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
So Dharmik Bhai, since you are the co-host, you should able to share your screen, housekeeping screen.
Yeah,
Just click on the share.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
I'll do it. Hang on. Let me first stop recording. Okay.